spies from the 12 tribes, they felt vibe from men whose stature was high. No lie, Joshua and Caleb reported that they saw walls with alligators and satyrs. The screech owl, men renowned, each bow. I see down above this weed cloud. I'm flying. The land's packed, the Sons of Anak, know where they camp at. A black man sat wearing a ram's hat, demand attacks. In his sand with traps, in his hand an axe. Metal headband with cracks, his face was scratched. Shisha, Ahiman and Telma. El was their allies, brothers that fell from high. The evil that dwell inside, the people that swell in size. 12 spies, they came to a brook where they saw a great bush. They saw grapes and took how amazing they look. The place was called Escol. Look at the death toll, so grab the grapes and let's go. The Jebusites place heads on spikes. If they see Israelites, then they're dead on sight. So they fled in the night, reporting back to Aaron and Moses about the people before Adam and their culture was the oldest. They said they heard of their grandfather Abba, wore giant armor, defying honor, triumph and conquer. Rapha, Genesis 6, printed on bricks. Enuma Elish, the tombs of their prince, left ruins huge in the cliffs. Japheth, Ham, and Shem, Anakim, sons of God, daughters of men, they slaughter for skin. Read about them, Job chapter 1, verse 6. More verses, Job chapter 38, verse 7. There's many more sons that lurk the heavens. Look the book of Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. Wings with plenty eyes to demigods. Kings built their cities high. Ben-Ha, Elohim, some say spawned from the devil genes. That's one way, but what of the Holocene? But as the days of Noah were, so shall the Son of Man supernova occur. Going to her, Asteroid, Ishtar, and fish gods. Molech, slow death, cut the throat necks. The lamb's blood, the bull's horn, then wears the goat flesh. Goliath, the giants, the tyrants. Osiris, see the carving of Gilgamesh, that whole lion. 700,000 male-clad horsemen and chariots of fire. 700,000 torchbearers and cross-wearers. They saw seraphs, Zord shepherds, protected by cherubs. 800,000 angels with daggers of fire. 1 million slingers and shield bearers in front of messiahs. 400,000 bearers of lamps. 500,000 through the fiery axe. At the Nephillim camp, the Sons of Anak. The impact took man back. The book of Numbers, ancient Cush and others. The south of Hebron, winged people before Edom. The king of Edom sits with his queen and she's blonde. Be gone, Sons of Anak, near Iraq. Cross the map, they're back. But of course we're at another story. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. I'm your host, Killah Freestyles, chief of the Middle East. Running rocket is none other than AD Dizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him. He's not slim, but he's a solo gem.
Peace, Sky. You doing your thing, live life, rise and shine, and all that type of jazz. You feel me? Doing my thing.
Shout out to all the moderators that's coming in the building, man, and all the people, new people that's coming through, man. Shout out to y'all, man. And we want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. And this is what it's about. It's about life, movement, and it's about learning and building up. It's about growing. You know what I mean? It's about information, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and elevating our thoughts so we can survive or know how to maneuver in these crazy times that's coming down. You know? Mm-hmm. So shout out to everybody that's in. Who's that? Drew? Oh, Drew's still in the building. Tuned in, baby. Word. I don't think you know you on, Drew?
Yeah, I know I'm on. I just had it muted.
Hey, no doubt. Shout out to Queen. Is Queen Naphtali still in?
She's there. She's just on standby. She's just waiting.
Okay. Give her time. Yeah, give her time.
I was gonna say it's probably because I'm in the building, right?
You good? You good?
Hey. It's all good.
Shout out to you, man. Word.
Nah,
I was looking at some sacred geometry and shapes and stuff like that. Watch, you gonna get that boost, right? So I love that bee bread, man. Yeah. That bee bread. Honey, I like Manuka honey too. You know what I'm saying? Manuka honey goes in, but it goes hard. Mm-hmm. You can play the joint.
All right.
Yeah, we got something on go?
Yeah. This is something that Stark
towering giants, offspring of divine entities and human women. Do the Nephilim giants spoken of in Genesis still roam the mountains of Afghanistan? In early 2002, Deep in the remote and rugged mountains near Kandahar, Afghanistan,
Sound like my man Rod
a group of
Sterling.
U.S. soldiers was involved in a search operation. Their mission was to find another patrol that had not reported back and was feared missing. This set the stage for what would become one of the most unusual and debated encounters in modern military lore. As the search team navigated through the harsh landscape, they came upon an enormous humanoid figure. Descriptions from those involved painted a vivid picture of the entity. Standing over 12 feet tall, with long red hair and a beard, and a physique that seemed almost prehistoric in its ruggedness. This being bore a striking resemblance to the Nephilim described in ancient texts, giants said to have once walked the earth. The situation escalated when the giant, who was armed with a sizable spear, became aggressive. According to the soldiers' accounts, it attacked the team, managing to kill one of the U.S. servicemen. The rest of the squad responded with their standard-issue firearms. The firefight that ensued was intense and, unlike any engagement the soldiers had trained for, legends of towering giants, offspring.
Yo, that was Rod Sterling, man. Shout out to Ben Frank. That sound like his voice. You know the cat who did Twilight Zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sound like him. So it seems like they was getting down like that in the 50s. Shout out to. Oh man, come on, man. Somebody said the Redhead Giants. Yeah, they was talking about them, the native that they said that's in their text. You know what I'm saying? So they said that's what they saw. 6 fingers and having all the 6 fingers and things like that. You know. Shout out to is she in there? I heard her voice, I think.
Yeah, she was. I couldn't swear I heard her voice. Nah, that was information.
Queen Naphtali, are you there? Oh yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, she right there.
All right, I get confused with this Zoom.
Wait, what?
It's been a while. I'm used to StreamYard. It's been a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. StreamYard, Zoom. Yeah, we Zoom. How are you?
Good.
What's good with you? How you doing, Queen?
Oh my goodness, couldn't be any better. How about yourself?
Oh, we maintaining. Everything is copacetic, right and exact where it's supposed to be. You know.
Yes, I'm hearing it. Bringing out this information.
Oh man. You the one that study. You know, you do a lot of studying, and we be hearing your bills. We were like, man, sister be going in.
Yeah, you know, and I'm always keeping my head in some book. You know, a lot of people look at me like I'm strange because of what I listen to, what I look at. But I love the supernatural. I'm not afraid of the supernatural because, you know, there's, you know, we have to go beyond. You know, everybody wants to talk about science, but when you look at science, it's pretty much supernatural as well. So I don't know why people have a problem with it, because either you want to believe that the earth came from everything was completed. Everything came from just a explosion out of nowhere, or maybe, you know, a God created. Whichever way you want to look at it, it's still a supernatural phenomenon.
Thought. Nothing happens without thought. Yeah, I know. Bringing that into light. Yes. So what you think about that, what I just played?
Oh, the six-fingered giants with the red hair?
Yeah.
I love it. You know, they talk about giants within Peru. Caracas, they talk about them with the elongated head, and they say they came over there and they had 6 fingers. They were giants. They actually they found their skull. So they say a lot of them probably had blonde hair or red hair. So they're all in the room. So.
Right.
It's not you know, fairy tale. They actually have found skeleton remains, whatever you want to call them, entities.
You're in your car, correct?
Huh?
You're in your car, correct?
I am in my car. Does it sound like it?
Yeah, it does.
Sound like you on the moon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get home. You know, you want me to come back in later when I get home?
Oh, we can hear you.
I
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's just
I won't
not
lie.
the.
Nah, you good. You good. It sounds like just a little distorted. I like it. Kind of good feel, especially with our background. Should we blast off what should we talking? That's heavy. Nah,
It's cool. I feel like I'm in 1947.
Yeah. And that was Rod Sterling. That's what I'm saying. So everything is there. For some reason, every time we rebuilding everything like sequence, be going into sequence.
Mhm.
You know, Niles Bourne had brought that out before, and I was like, yeah, you know, so you're right on point. Earlier, I was talking to her. I was like, man, you know, there's a lot of mysteries. You know, a lot of people put it to Gnostic texts. Some of the in the supernatural and the spiritual realm. And there's a saying that what you don't see controls and governs that what you do see. So there's some type of, you know, always something that happens in the imagination and into the mind, or is brought to straight forth that we can see and understand and comprehend it. You know, like people smoke weed and people do shrooms and people do everything, and they say that they see things, that their state is altered, and that they, you know, who am I to deny them of what they said they see?
Right.
You know, and then the same as with any type of shaman, or a high priest, or it could be a tribe leader that, you know, read the stars and say, man, it's that way. And they have some type of vision or interaction because they feeling that they're not dependent on the technology like what she building on. So there's a lot of mysteries that going on, and I like because it's fun when you kind of play with the elements a little bit. You can get a little bit of loose on just building by the traditional way. You know, you can kind of like get a little loose and shoot a 3-pointer sometimes instead of just going for the layup. You see, my man Curry. You good out there?
Yeah. No,
Is that Naphtali? What was that? That was you? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I thought that was a car.
Nah.
Word.
That was halftime.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's real. Yeah.
Do you feel that same way, Naphtali?
Okay, you're talking about with the supernatural and spiritual, how people are having a hard time accepting it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, you know, when it comes to the supernatural, I know you were speaking to me about the angels, right? So you were talking about Adam and Eve in the garden.
Yeah.
And so with the tree of knowledge of good and evil, we see that there's trees of knowledge all around the Babylonians. If we get into that, there's a tree. And pretty much all of them are telling the same story, but they're only telling the story from their perspective and from their eyes. The Bible is the one that tells the story through Adam and Eve. And we know that the cherubim are the angels that actually were the ones with the flaming swords. They were the ones that they were drove head first out of the doggone garden, and those cherubim were the ones that were doing it with their fire swords. They were guarding the tree of life because, you know, Adam realized his fault, and he was trying to fight his way back into the garden. And that's when he was driven out by the cherubim. Now, when we see the cherubim, we always see them classified as these little babies, you know, these little fat babies, chubby little babies they have talking about their cherubim. But that's not true at all. The cherubims actually there is a hierarchy within the angels. There are 9 stages of angels, and the cherubim are the ones that are second, which is the most second powerful out of before the cherubim. The cherubim are the ones that guard the throne of the Most High. And the cherubim are the ones that they spiritually guarded. The seraphim spiritually guarded, but the cherubim are physically guarded. If that makes sense. So,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the angels fell because they saw them win.
Right. Wow. I'm struggling a little bit to it's coming in a little bit like you are speaking from Apollo 13 up in the universe, but it's cool though. It's cool, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But what about the you know what always tripped me out?
I sound better now. I had you on the Bluetooth in my car. Does this one sound better?
Way better.
Yeah, sounds a lot
way
better.
better.
I won't lie. That sounds
way better. I was struggling. I was somewhere lost in the garden. I was somewhere between the I was between the tree of good and evil. I didn't know what you. I said, yeah, I'm here with you, but now I see.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Could you go over?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now we can hear you a little bit better. So what you were saying, just say it so the audience could hear it a little bit better, because I'm seeing some things come out.
When you have mentioned the Nephilim, right? You have mentioned the Nephilim with the redhead giants with the 6 fingers.
See.
We go back to the angels that fell. They're the ones that mix with the daughters of man. When I talked about it at the beginning, we saw that Lucifer, who was the serpent in the garden, and he beguiled Eve, and he got her to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But there was also another tree, which was the tree of life, and they were supposed to go through that tree first, and then go to the tree of good and of knowledge of good and evil. But since he did that, Adam and Eve were actually cursed, and were there to guard the entrance of the Garden of Eden. And what ended up happening is when the Most High got upset with Adam and Eve, he thrown them out, and how he drove them head first out, right? Because Adam was fighting his way back into the garden, and that's why the cherubim was standing there tall with their flaming swords, ready to attack and ready to do whatever they have to do to keep Adam and Eve from coming back in. Now, when I talk about the cherubim, everybody always thinks the cherubim are all these little cute, little fat babies with little diapers on, little wings. But that's not the true depiction of the cherubim. The cherubim are actually very strong and powerful. There is 9 levels to angels. You got the archangels and all that, which was Michael, who actually fought Lucifer and kicked him out of heaven. And then when you go all the way up to the second level, up to the highest level, which are the seraphim, and then they're the ones that actually are surrounding the Most High's throne. They're personally there with the Most High. And then after that, they have the cherubim, who are the ones that guard the Most High's throne. So that's what we're seeing. Now, these angels, they fell down. A lot of these angels had fallen because they saw the daughters of man. Remember, man was given, we weren't given immortality. We're the ones that he gave us children to complete, that's why we had children, because we weren't immortal. And the angels were given immortality, and that's why they weren't able to have children. That's why they were supposed to stay up in heaven, and they weren't supposed to go down and have any sexual relations with the daughters of man. But what ended up happening is they saw these daughters, and they were very, they really wanted to, they really wanted to get with these women. I guess they were very beautiful from up there.
Blast off. You blasting me here. Don't worry about that. We just moved
down, and they began to create their own offspring. Remember, they created offspring. These are immortal, and they made it with mortal. So that's why we have these spirits. That's why we have these entities. We have these what people want to call them demons, or whatever you want to classify them as, because the Nephilim, their bodies, right? Their bodies die because they're human, but their spirits live on because they're also immortal. So with that, that's why we have these spirits, or evil spirits, or whatever people want to call them. And that's why we have these. That's why we're hunted and plagued by them, because of these doggone angels that failed, and they started to, they knew the daughters of men sexually. The daughters of the men sexually. That's why women were said to cover their heads. We're not supposed to walk around without our heads being covered, because those angels are looking down, and they're looking like, hey, these women are, beautiful. And that's why Lucifer was upset. Lucifer was upset because the angels were created to serve man. They were supposed to come here and help us. But Lucifer was like, I'm not serving no man. And then he also wanted the women. So, he fell down. When you go into the book of Enoch, they talk about Semyaza and the band of angels. I believe it was 200. And all of them made a pact with each other. And they said, hey, we are going to go down here. We are going to do this. We're not going to back out on each other. And that's when they all dropped down. And that's when they started to, you know, not only they wanted to be worshiped, they wanted to be praised. So they started teaching man how to, you know, about how to garden, how to form, how to create weapons, talk to them about metals, you know, all of these different things. And when we look at that, we can actually see that in history. We can actually see that being taken place historically. You know, when you hear the stories of about let's say, for instance, the Native Americans, they say that they were visited, and they say that they taught them about how to, you know, plant, specifically the Mayans, right? The Mayans, they had created their calendar, and they were said that they were taught, they said they were visited. So we go into the Dogon, you go into all these different, you know, tribes and different people, you'll see that they all talk about something coming to visit them and providing them some form of knowledge or some form of information. You know, we just had the solar eclipse, and a lot of people showed up for that. And a lot of people don't understand why that was such a big deal. You know, it is because it all goes back to some form of entity or some form of deity, which is nothing more than a fallen angel, if that makes sense.
Mm. Are you referring to the, what was it called, the Devil's Comet? Are you referring to the Devil's Comet? Have you heard of that?
I'm in my car. What was that?
Huh?
I'm sorry. Did you hear me, Curtis? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. You said that the solar eclipse, people didn't know what that was about. Could you tell? I was just throwing something out there, but could you tell us more about what was that about on a spiritual level? Like, what was that about?
Well, we know that the Aztecs and the Mayans built these ziggurats to be able to observe these stars in the celestial, you know, the celestial aspect of it. Now, as far as what does the solar eclipse done for them personally, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that they, a lot of these different, you know, like these different times, like with the eclipse, that's when they would, you know, do some kind of sacrifices and, you know, worship and praise and acknowledgement of their God. You know, when their God Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan, whichever one you want to classify them as, you know, they're different deities.
You know what's crazy about that? Because you have to have a watcher, because like if they didn't have, you know, like what did they have like to know when it was coming? Like, oh, it's that time of, you know, I don't know about the sundials and anything like that, but you have to be observant of the galaxy to even know that time was going to come. So they was always out there thinking deeper. What would you say?
Well, a lot of this they were taught. When you look into the book of Enoch, they tell you that they came down and they taught man because they wanted to be worshipped. Now, one thing in particular, when we talk about the Amorites or the Mayans, is that they talk about being visited by like a deity or a man that had hair that was like corn silk, which is pretty much blonde, like blonde hair. And we look at that type of deity, it goes back to Odin. Now, we all know that the Vikings are said to have come over here to the Americas. And we know that the North Nordic god, Odin, was to have blonde hair. And when you go back and you research this deity and how they came over, then we'll see that that deity matched Odin. And we go back to Quetzalcoatl, they said that he was a fair-skinned, blonde hair, blue eyes when you go to Quetzalcoatl. So that's pretty much, and then like I said, all these deities are pretty much the same. The only difference is that they call them different names and they worship them differently. But we all know they built the ziggurats. We all know they built the pyramids, whichever way they wanted to classify it. And then when we go into Peru, that's when you see the Paracas. That's when you go down and you see them having the elongated elongated Nephilim that came and visited these giants with red hair and blonde hair as well. So it actually sounds like they made it in with these fallen angels with the blonde hair, and then created these offsprings with the red hair, and the giants with the elongated skulls. Have you seen the elongated skulls? Have you seen the size of them?
Man, I've seen some things. Yeah, I've seen some things. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. You know, some of the pictures, I think, in some of the Kemet pictures, they had heads like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Head.
And they found them. They actually unburied them in Peru. You know,
Peruvian too, right? Peru.
Yeah, the Peruvians. So, you know, I really wanted to take some time and actually visit Machu Picchu. You know, because there's a lot going on in Peru, and with the Paracas. So I really want to get further into that. But a lot of people are intimidated or feel like the fallen angel thing is laughable, but it's not, because when you see that these people were getting up every day to sacrifice to these deities, you know, we got these, I'm in St. Louis, and we have these mounds in Cahokia.
Right.
And matter of fact, we have mounds. I think they're trying to disguise a lot of these mounds. I think they're, you know, bulldoze a lot of them, but we have a lot of these mounds, and they have, you know, gone into these mounds, and they have found, you know, all this jade, you know, all these jade and all these different burial sites. And they also have found, you know, where a lot of people were killed, sacrificed. You know, they have them, you know, they have them where there was a lot of cannibalistic activity that took place. They say that their God required the blood of humans for the sun to come up. And they feared that if they didn't sacrifice somebody, that the sun wouldn't even come up. And, you know, people want to say that these are myths, but my thing is why would people go to these lengths to do something that's not true and real when we see these people were very sophisticated, you know, when they built the megaliths, right?
Yeah. Well, wow. Yeah. Well, I was gonna just add on a little bit because, all right,
go ahead.
You know, like with drug dealers, right? So they know that because they, in the time when they were sacrificing people to their gods, to their deity, it's like money's become a new god. Like everybody do things for money. So to get money, you do anything. They even call it blood money, and even put hits on people. And you know, drug dealers know that this substance that I'm giving you is killing you. Maybe kill your whole family. So it's a form of sacrifice if you look at it. I'm talking about deep, dark drugs, fentanyl and all of this stuff like that. And they still do it, knowing that they do it for the love of what they have to get. So if you look at it, it's like because the times are different. You know, nobody's taking nobody on a mound and burning them and putting them on, you know, putting the chains on, waiting for Kong. Or, you know, just what I'm saying is like killing them like that. But I think that the times were different. So when you look at it, the way you're saying it, like if you look at it in today's fashion, you'll see it a little bit different because there is sacrifice going on, but it's done by a deed and it looks cool, but then you're killing your own people by sacrificing because you know it's going to destroy even babies, you know, of what you give them. And you know that they take it. And even on another thing, pharmaceuticals, which is, you know, pharmaceutical, the farm. And what they do is they promote alcohol and drugs over the counter, and they kind of like sacrifice. They know that's why they even put it on the bottles, just to put it a little bit to what you're saying about the sacrifice, just to add on to you, because you said that people don't what if some did not believe? That's my question to you.
Bro.
I'm sorry, but some do, some don't.
We got a super chat too.
Okay.
All right.
Jamie Uncensored says,
Yeah, man. You gotta keep the. Oh, go read it. Gotta read it.
I eat my wife all the time, baby.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
But see, that's what she was talking about. Is like, so what if that was funny, Jamie. Yeah, he sacrificed his wife. Put it that way. Oh yeah. Is it as decent? Shut up. But just add on. But I don't want to stop your bill. Where you going? I just want to add on to you that sacrifice was a real thing. Like, so when you speak on that, you know, that no one's doing that, they would just like, they're doing it on another level. They don't call it murder anymore. They changed the name of things because society got more sophisticated. You know, one time it was a different world. So when there's a whole different world, people thought different, and you didn't have TV. You had to go about stories of what people said, and things that people saw was actually real. What they saw back in that time. Just that on.
Shout out to Deborah D.
Shout out to Deborah D. Yeah. Just adding on to you. You take a whole little will. It's back to you. I just wanted to add on.
Conversation. I'm in my car. I don't have my notes in front of me. So if you guys just want to build, I don't know your son's name.
Solomon.
Okay, Solomon. How are you doing? Shalom, most high bless.
God bless.
Yeah, so if you guys want to come in and land me back off of what I'm saying, please do. Come on in, let's dialogue. But when I talked about the cannibalistic activity as well as the sacrificial activity, when you look at the name cannibal, that actually comes from the Canaanites, and it also goes to the god Baal. All of this is about the god Baal. Everybody thinks that this is when you look at Marduk, when you look at let's see, like I said, Koku Khan, you look at Zeus, you look at Odin, they all are the same deity. The only difference is that they all go up to Baal. That's who they are. And when you look at cannibal, that's for Canaanite, and that's Baal. You know what I'm saying? That goes to their god Baal. So every time you see this cannibalism, it's them worshiping Baal. They may not be saying the name Baal, but they're actually worshiping Baal. And these names, Kokukan, Quetzalcoatl, Marduk, any of these different deities that you name, all those names have meanings.
Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle, she too. Ricky Bell. No, but I understand what you're saying. No, because ball is right. What we said about football and basketball, it's the biggest. Everyone go, but the word ball is in there. If you look at all the people go to see, and I love football. You know what I'm saying? I love
It's
the
all ball. They want you to think you live on a ball. It's true.
Wow. I mean, think about it. That is deep, though. You heard what he just said? That's kind of heavy, though. I'll give you that one. He said they wanted you to think you to live on a ball, which goes back to Bell. You know what I mean? Or Baal, or the worship of what's that? Did that have to do something with sacrificing people? What is the god Baal about?
Yeah, when you look at antebellum South, the antebellum South, that all goes back to Baal as well. See, everybody, when you go to jail, who do you have to pay? You have to pay Baal.
Oh, wow.
That's what this is about. When you go to jail, you pay Baal. You got to get bail
in jail. Yeah.
You got to pay bail. So when you got to pay bail, what happens is that, and people need to understand this. And I say this.
Cookie, hold up, because hold on. What about paying your bill? That could be connected to it. Like, bill, pay your bill. Yeah. Oh, man.
When you call on bail, you're asking for help. You need bail to bail you out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them used to call on bail. Like like for instance, when you go to, and I'm pulling on the Aztecs and stuff because that's who I'm really studying. I'm looking into them right now. So when you look at the Aztecs and you look at the Mayans, at one point in time, they went through severe drought, and they were, that's when they started to increase the sacrificing. And they were calling on Baal. They like, please, make it rain, make it rain. But see, there's somebody above Baal.
Right.
That's the Most High. Okay. And they when you calling on Baal, the Most High allows Baal to take charge because of the sinning that we do. And that's what happens. Baal gets to take charge and put curses on us. And that's why a lot of us go through trials and tribulations. So a lot of them, they even have Baal in their name. Annabelle, Chlorabelle. And Baal is also mean to be beautiful. So a lot of them carry the name Baal in their names. And then when you go to jail, you need to get bailed out.
Damn. That was cold. Wow, wait, hold up. We got to slow it down a little bit. I'm gonna put it on simmer. I'm gonna put it on 2 because you cooking right now. Yeah, she up there. We need somebody cooking. Let's turn down the degrees a little bit so it can simmer a little bit because you going in. You said Bella, because Bella doesn't mean beautiful.
In Spanish, it's Bella. Bella in Spanish. Bella.
Yeah.
That's belladonna.
Yeah, that's close to that's a flower also, and that's close to Bella. It's Italian, and in Italian I think it means beautiful.
And
So
Bell
Bella means good.
is also the bull, and that's Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty.
Wow.
Bel, Bea, beautiful.
Wow.
Bull.
And that was the first deity, if you think about it, right? I'll ask the expert on this. So Naphtali, the first worship of I don't know if it was but a bull was considered as God, right? Am I correct on that, or?
Yeah, there are bulls that are worshipped. 1 second. Yeah, the bull god, is Baal. You know what I'm saying? So
I was in there.
yeah, you was in there. You was in it. And I also want to bring in Jezebel, right? Everybody knows Jezebel. A lot of them kept the name Baal. If you notice, they'll have the name Baal in their name. So whenever you look at it, Jezebel, she's, it's Baal, so all of that goes back to the deity Baal. So you can't let nobody say, hey, you can't fool me. I know what you're doing here with this Baal. When you look at Baalbek, everybody looks at, they look at Rome with the Colosseum, but there's actually something called Baalbek, which is even more, is where they channeled it from. They got it from Baalbek, which is the Tower of Baal for Baal. And if you want to, you can show it for us, AD, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what am I looking up specifically?
Baalbek?
You're looking at Baalbek.
See how this cat look. BAL.
Oh, you also can look at the Paracas skulls, where people can see the elongation of the skull, so people will know the how large and how for them to know that they actually existed. These are giant skulls. They're not like regular human skulls. They're really huge. There you go. There they are.
Hey.
Yep, that's the skull. And they say they don't have the sagittal suture that's supposed to be in the middle. We all have the sagittal suture. It says it lacks that. Oh, yeah, you see how it looks like an alien? So that is what they actually found in Paracas, Peru. They actually found that and they all said that they have the genetics and they've done it. They say they all are humans, right? They have the human genetics, but we know that there's something else going on with these skulls. There's something else in them. That's not all human. We know that. That's Nephillim.
Right. Now we're talking. I'm having my tea now, and we're talking about like what we're talking like thousands of years ago. So to them it was just like regular, probably whatever they saw back then.
Right. Yeah.
It was just like, oh my goodness, they probably was used to it.
No, they were mesmerized by his beauty. When they said that Odin arrived, they were intrigued. They were, mystified by him. And he taught them. He brought great knowledge and information to them. And that's why they looked to the stars and were able to create this, this calendar, which they say was actually probably a compass. So with that understanding, that means that they were doing some form of traveling too. They weren't as primitive as people want to project them as being. They were doing some form of traveling. I actually been looking into this, and don't quote me on it, but I don't have my notes.
Right.
But I saw somewhere where they said that in Greenland, they had Native Americans actually trading with them in Greenland. So I'm still researching that. But if you guys want to take it a step further, let me know what you.
Wow. Yeah, look that up. Greenland trading with giants.
This is wild.
Yeah. Somebody, I looked in there real quick, and someone said Red Bull.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, that's the chat room is on fire, man. Yeah. They be on point.
2 bulls, and it's the second sign.
Red Bull?
Yeah, and you know what the main ingredient in Red Bull is?
What?
Taurine. Taurus.
Wow. Torsion field.
Yeah.
Taurus field. Yeah. Also your torso. Because you have your own Taurus field that goes through your torso.
Wow.
That's also Taurus, and then so is the taurine in Red Bull.
So
You can do a whole thing on Red Bull.
Red Bell, yeah.
It's actually better than regular soda because it has real sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, well, they look like she said. Let's go back to Queen Naphtali.
Yeah, I'm looking at
She
what
said it was a beauty thing, though. So
Greenland
that's
Giants.
what was it?
It sounds like a football team.
What you want us to look up? Naphtali?
Baldeck.
Baldeck.
Because that's bringing up Home Depot.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah.
Baldeck.
Oh.
Not bald. Bal. Not bald. Is it Baldeck? Put God next to it. It'll come in. It'll spell it correct.
And
Then go to all.
Oh wait, no, that's not out there.
Baldeck. It's almost like Molech.
It's all good. We can put together something.
Get it out.
What and
You know,
what?
I have to come back when I'm not in my car and I can actually have my presentation available for
Yeah,
everybody.
I like when you did the one about Atlantis.
Oh yes, I'm gonna, and you know what? I'm really want to get back into the Atlantis because you know they're trying to say that the Eye of Africa could possibly be the lost, city of Atlantis. They say it could be the Eye of Africa. If you guys look at the Eye of Africa, if you're familiar with it.
Let's pull up the Eye of Africa, man. She going there.
Yeah,
The Eye of Africa.
They saying that was a
What
part
is
of
that?
Atlantis.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Where's that at?
Well, they have they say Atlantis was having all these different circles around it when you look at Atlantis. And when you look at the Eye of Africa, it actually simulates. It looks exactly like
I see
that.
it now. The lost city of Atlantis.
Wow.
That's wild.
It does match. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I was thinking it could be a launch pad, or something they use. But it does make sense if that circular type of city. If you've ever looked at the concept of creating the Venus Project, it was like a futuristic type city. Every time they showed depictions of futuristic cities, it was similar to some type of circle. And then sky towers. Everything is kind of going back to this design to where it's around a circle. That's interesting.
2024 has been an interesting year.
Yeah.
Very interesting. We're just getting started.
Yeah, we're not even halfway done.
The cicadas already started. They already started coming out a little bit. So I missed the first 100. It's supposed to be 1 trillion, so I guess I missed all 500,000. Yeah, I'm gonna worry about it. They came out in North Carolina, and then y'all call them June bugs, right? You was telling me.
You talking June bugs? Yeah, we call them. Yeah.
I just got a message from Mighty Hebrew. He says Kahan, Kani, priest of Baal is Bel in Hebrew.
Wow.
It's called the Eye of the Sahara.
Wow. The Eye of the Sahara.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mighty Hebrew. Wow. Dang.
You got a super chat from Jamie Uncensored.
Right.
He says that hoodie is a hint, Killah Priest. Gonna be a Snoop lion and be Priest lion and eat motherfuckers.
No doubt, man. It's the armor. I said I gotta wear armor today.
Yeah.
My armor.
You do have a reggae album though.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah. Priest got reggae music.
Yeah.
We worked on some stuff. Yeah, that's a while back. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's crazy.
All right.
Yeah, they work on some stuff, man. That's one
and
of
the
my,
new stuff you did with
Guam.
Yeah, Guam I was there for.
Man, so you man, I could tell you did some extensive studying on this. It's crazy right there.
Yeah.
I have so Baldeck, we couldn't find that right away. Do you know how to spell it?
Oh, Balbeek. B as in boy, EK.
Try that and put God next to it. Let's see what's up.
What's that again?
Baldeck. So I got a couple of mysteries that I want. Well, it came out.
Soccer player.
There it goes.
There you go. Hey.
This is
Wow.
Baldev.
We'll wait. You know what? Is there an Indian god?
No, it's Baal. Baal.
Oh, Baal.
Yeah, Baal Bek. Bek. Lebanon. There it is.
Hey.
Now.
They got it? Oh, okay. I didn't know what.
See,
Go
everybody
ahead.
always goes back to Rome as if the Romans are the ones that started this. No. And if you think about it, this is all the worship of Baal. This is all about Baal. You see? You see how all these temples, or what they want to call historic buildings, or what we see today as civil, or what we would say are like the White House and things like that. All of those things emulate or imitate this structure here, which all this goes back to Baal.
Are these
A lot
pillars?
of them they're not ashamed either. They know that they know they're proud. A lot of them are proud of who their God is. A lot of them aren't ashamed.
Are these pillars of ivory?
No, they're not. Not of ivory.
It's all right. He's just doing a joke. That's one of my rods. That's so funny.
They could have been made of ivory.
Yeah.
It was a real question.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, they could have, but no, not this one. They also do a celebration or a festival there to honor Baalbek. And you guys got to think about Europa is actually the goddess, and that's where Europe received its name, Europa.
Europe.
Yeah, Europe received its name from Europa, and the whole story about Europa is Zeus coming down and him seeing her and creating offspring. And, it's a lot. I wish I was prepared more.
That's
I would
fire.
What'd she say?
That's dope, though. She just dropped some good knowledge right there.
Say it again.
I'm talking about Europa and where Europe received its name. Zeus was supposed to have come down and made it with this woman, and created offspring, and that's where the name Europa, that's where they named Europe after, is Europa. If you guys want to share that, Europa is same as Europe, but ROPA instead of Europa. Okay. But anyway, if you got anything else you guys want to ask me, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, that's good. Yeah, we love it. We love it.
Yeah, look up Europa. Europa.
It was this.
That's Europa.
Yeah. No, but with an E, like Europe, but it's like you're saying Europe, but instead of the ending with a P. And it's also moon. Yeah, it's also Jupiter's moon is Europa.
Oh yeah.
When I have they do actual poems to Europa. And a lot of, when they did the solar eclipse, a lot of them were doing poems. If you ever Google it, there she is. If you ever Google Europa and a poem for Europa, you'll see them actually doing a poem for her, as well as Umbra, which is where we get umbrella from. It's a god with the name of Umbra. And what they try to do, they try to hide it and say that they're praising sending praise to the moon Europa, but we know who they're sending praise to. They're actually sending it to the goddess Europa. And when I talk about Europa, we also have to know that this was during the solar eclipse is when they did this. They actually did a poem for her on the day of the solar eclipse.
And there she is on the bull.
There she is on the bull.
Wow. Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Which is Baal. Yes, she's on the bull.
Isn't it also Mithra?
That's Europa?
Yep. That's Europa. And if you guys want to look at her story, we can look at her story. Like I said, I don't have everything with me, but we can look at her story, and we can all see. Everybody talks about Zeus. Well, guess what? Zeus was with her and created offspring. And that's when we get to his lineage. It's through Europa, and we see that they named the continent after her, a whole continent.
Wow.
And you got to pay Baal. You got to pay him.
Deborah D said Europe is an alien
You got to
world.
pay him.
Got to pay Baal. Yeah.
Wow.
Got to pay him.
Got to pay
you
that
want to get
Baal.
out? You got to pay him. You got to pay Baal.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Mighty Hebrew says also
I know he hit me
she
too.
was a black female goddess of Ethiopia.
Who Europa?
Well, tell Mighty Hebrew to hit the link and start teaching himself. Then come on, Mighty Hebrew, come on now.
Oh yeah. He's a
Mighty Hebrew goes into the Nagas.
Yeah.
Mighty Hebrew goes into the Nagas.
I'm gonna show. He just said, yeah.
He's a professor.
Yeah.
You know, he talks
Kahan.
about the Brahmins and all of them. So
Yeah.
He talks about the Naga.
The who?
The Naga, which is serpents.
Yeah.
Nagas.
India.
When you get into the serpent, that's why when you talk about serpents, you get into Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, all of them, the different deities, all go back to the serpent. A lot of people want to say that they're seraphim, but that's not correct, which is an angel. They're not seraphim. They're just, well, they probably are. They could have been the fallen. Yeah, seraphim could have fallen too. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm interested in hearing Mighty Hebrew. He comes with a whole nother.
Yeah, he goes.
I know people are probably looking at me like, what is she talking about?
No. It's great that you're doing this. I'm telling you, this is an upliftment for women. And because it's like,
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for real. Because dropping knowledge like this is very important. And it's like it's okay to have an open mind. It's okay to be, because you might think, I feel like I'm different, but that's the one that's when you get into who you are. Blast off. And everybody think people may laugh, but it's something to be about. You in the class? You know when they say you in the class by yourself? There's something about that.
Yeah.
Nobody else is in your class. You're in the class by yourself. And that means that you into it. You get to know who you are. You get to see everything else. You're not a follower like everybody else. A lot of people want to be down with everybody else, but when you get into your zone and not just a tag along. I want to make this, impress this person, and you just do it because it's coming from your heart. That's the way to do it. I'm gonna blast off.
High class.
That's right.
Real. Man. Top class, top shelf.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Mighty Hebrew said, we're trying to get it like,
Back to the Future.
They were called she said Queen Naphtali is correct. The word Europe goes back to the Greco-Latin word Europa, which was the black female goddess of Ethiopia. Europa goes back to the Hebrew word Ereb, which means the darkness and gloomy. Read what I wrote. Start from here. Okay, start from here. And he says, I told him, he says, Kahan. He says, Canaan, priest. Baal. He said, in Hebrew, it's called the Eye of Sahara. It's located northwest of Africa. See, we know where it's located at. Northwest of Africa.
He'll give you the coordinates.
Yep.
Yeah. And it says Atlantis, original is Patala. Was founded by the antediluvian times by a group known as the Romala. The Romala. Yeah, the Indian go back. Hindu goes back too. A lot of green gods there too, right? Atlantis is west from west, northwest. Dad, you know the directions. Dave Voss is tuning in. Shout out to Dave Voss.
Hey.
Word. Let's go. Yes.
Shout out to Mighty Hebrew. He definitely brought a lot of knowledge and information to me as far as that Atlantean encyclopedia. I hold firm to that. I read that all the time and utilize that in my studies. And for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Naphtali. I have a channel. It's called New School of Thought, Naphtali's New School of Thought. And what I do is I teach on all these different things. I have a Canaanite series. A lot of what I'm teaching on right now, I have in my part 3 series. And I like to talk about giants. I talk about them. I talk about Baal, who is this so-called Jesus that they're showcasing. That's who that is Baal, Baal. And a lot of them worship Baal, and we just don't know. And that's what the best part is about. The best part about this is hidden knowledge. They tell you not to read certain things, but how can something be a secret society without secrets? right? We have to
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
If something is a secret, they tell you, oh, don't read, oh, don't um don't read this book and don't look into this information. You know, like don't read the book of Jubilees, don't read the book of Jasher, don't read this is pseudo. And it's like, if somebody wants to tell you not to read something, reading is fundamental. It doesn't matter what you read. Don't tell anybody not to read something. There's always, good, information somewhere, but they tell you not to read it because they don't want you to. It's supposed to be a secret.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's real.
Wow. Philip B said, preach. You going in. Oh, man. You doing your thing.
They say, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Eat the meat and spit out the bones is what you're supposed to do. But no, these people want to keep you hidden underneath these secret societies because the way they be, they're gatekeepers. And the way they keep you out is by telling you not to look into things. When you start to hear people tell you not to look into things or not to read things, that's when you need to give them the side eye, like, hey, what are you trying to hold back from me? You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to hold this knowledge and information because, truth and knowledge will set you free, right? So that's what I talk about. I try to, I'm a truth seeker. I'm a truth seeker and I'm trying to find the truth. And sometimes this truth is stranger than fiction, right?
You brave for taking those paths because a lot of people are too afraid to even go down those paths and even read other things.
Yeah.
So they'll just immediately get scared of information and say, "Oh, that's evil. Oh, that's demons." You know what I mean? They're too afraid to walk that path. And you know what I'm saying? Not all knowledge is for everybody.
No, that's true. But they get caught up into the curriculum. You know what I mean? Whatever's being taught in schools, that's what they're caught up into. So that's what happens. You know what I mean? They get so stuck in that thought. That's what, you feel me? That's why it's so crazy when somebody's talking something deep.
Oh, send me the link.
So,
sorry.
That's just how it goes down.
I blame he said he loves listening to you teach. That's from Mighty Hebrew. She said send me the link.
Oh, but tell him I'm honored. Thank you, Mighty Hebrew. I truly appreciate it. When people talk about science, we go into evolution and they talk about humans coming from apes. Well, we have to look at the Anunnaki because the Anunnaki are gods that are said to come down who created humans from apes. So we have to realize that a lot of this information that they're so-called teaching and they want to say is science is actually this information, Babylonian doctrine that they're trying to withhold, but also share their deity, but also withhold the information of people who believe in evolution and that human beings came from apes. Have to understand that when you just add in the Anunnaki, they're the ones that came down and created humans from apes. And people have a hard time accepting something coming down and creating humans from apes, but they're willing to accept apes just out of nowhere, just deciding to evolve. And guess what? Why aren't these apes evolving now? What's stopping them from evolving? I just was at the zoo and I was looking at them and they were all hanging in hammocks and stuff, and hammocks and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, why? They're going extinct. Why aren't they producing, trying to get themselves to repopulate?
Yeah, it's just,
since they say that this is done.
It was someone's theory. Darwin, right?
It's a theory, but people are losing. Yeah, Darwinism. Hold on one second. I gotta get something. Go ahead and take over real quick, Killah.
Carlo Cross says Darwinism is a theory of many he had that he claimed himself is not plausible.
Yeah. I believe that. Sometimes they hear other people talking. You know what I mean? And then they make their book and they get out there. You can't catch them, especially Einstein. Most of his ideas came from, you told me, right? That most of his ideas came from Tesla.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Tesla was hardcore scientist, man.
Yeah, some people just have it.
That's their purpose. That's their passion.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali was a great boxer. That's what he could do.
That's his purpose. That's his passion.
Yeah. But if you want Muhammad Ali to open up a little shop, they don't be doing like that, make you eggs and stuff like that. It ain't gonna be, and it's not gonna be the same. Stick to your purpose. Get to what you do. You know what I mean? Stay to what you do. Who want eggs made by LeBron James?
Hey, but if LeBron James makes some good ass eggs, I don't know.
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna doubt.
Would you trust it? Yeah. I'm just saying, if he say, "Yo, man, I made this last night," You know what I mean? You
You
love
make
to
some
see him on
bomb
the
food
field.
too. You make
Huh?
some. You make some pretty good bomb food too. And
I'm
you're
a
an
little
amazing
different.
rapper.
Thank you.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm a little different.
Some people who are amazing at things are also amazing.
But I say if
at
you
other
want, yeah, right off top. I mean, if you okay,
things. You
know,
wouldn't expect them.
Well,
to
you want to
be-
see? Well, who want to see LeBron throw on some skates? You know where I'm going at.
Yeah, yeah,
And skating
yeah.
up the, you know what I'm saying? Getting into, Rasul will take him out probably in skating. You know what I'm saying? But the person is great. Shout out to Tahuti. Like you said, the person is great at what they do what they're known for.
Yeah.
And you just go into that zone. Everybody else can't do what you do.
Yeah.
And then when you stick to who you are, then that's great. Just that's why I said, when you trying to please, when you are straight up and you're real within yourself and you do it because how you feel it and not what's out there, that's when you can kind of like let the flower flourish.
Yeah.
That's the lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't need that validation.
Big Mad says,
I do this.
F those eggs.
Huh?
Big Mad said, F those eggs.
Oh, you want those eggs? You want no LeBron eggs?
Mm,
I don't think I want LeBron's eggs.
yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Underland says, why would a man be making you breakfast?
Real? That's real.
Hey, you can have eggs for dinner.
Well, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
a dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Nah,
some egg fried rice is bomb.
you rather pay to see, well, not even pay to see, but you know what I mean. You rather see them do what they're great at. You know what I mean? Not something that you've probably heard about by somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
you know what I'm trying. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, we know.
What I'm
You
trying
know,
to say.
we get it. Everything.
Right.
I always say, people gotta think deeper. That's all. People gotta think deeper.
Exactly.
Let you know that I'm back, just in case. I'll let you know I'm back if you didn't know.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, man.
So I mean, it's open. I mean, I love the discussion. This is beautiful. Tetragrammaton is in the building. Word.
Yeah,
That's an L name right there.
This is deep, man. This is deep. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I think here he goes. I gave him. What's up, my brother? It's not working.
Oh, I see him.
Oh, I think he see you. Hold on.
Tell him to stand by.
Stand by. He gonna let you in. That's the mighty Hebrew.
Mighty Hebrews coming?
Hey,
See what you sparked with Naphtali, Queen Naphtali.
but I think
Word.
people gotta think deeper than whatever they've been taught or been shown in life.
Mhm.
That's how you get the solutions or discover new things. You know what I mean? You gotta swim. You don't just swim on the surface. You gotta go deeper to discover new fishes and all that type of stuff. So
That's
you know what I
right.
mean? That's how I look at life. The deeper the better. You know what I mean? You stick to the surface because it's safe. I understand that. You gotta sometimes learn how to swim. You know what I mean? You're not gonna drown. You might discover something new.
Right.
There's treasure down there. You just don't know it.
Right.
Real talk.
Right. They tell you that in the army, be all you can be in the army. All you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
Real talk.
Be more. I mean, as long as you stick to your. We waiting on Mighty Hebrew. I mean, he's in.
Yeah. I mean, purpose.
Naphtali, you still with us?
If you sticking to purpose, that should be back.
I'm not
Oh,
sure if he's
okay.
going to turn his camera on.
But,
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, there he is.
but purpose is all about everything.
Oh, shout out to the great Mighty Hebrew in the building. What's good with you, my bro?
So what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we hear you.
Loud and clear.
Oh man, giving all praise and honor to y'all.
Indeed.
Shalom alaikum. It's definitely an honor and a privilege. I hear Queen Naphtali dropping that knowledge about the carnival, the Feast of Baal. You know what I'm saying? It's good to hear that. But I just wanted to emphasize briefly about Patala or Atlantis.
Yes.
When we understand Antediluvian history, there was a group that came out of Madagascar roughly 2.5 million BCE, known as the Ramors. The Ramors traveled from what we know as Madagascar to what we know as West Africa / Northwest Africa and found Patala or Atlantis. Atlantis shifted over from Northwest Africa to what we know as South America. back in the antediluvian time, it's known as Ruta, or the city of the Golden Gate. This is why you'll see maybe similarities with the pyramid structures of the Giza, you know, when you start talking about the pyramidal structures in Karnak, which you see in Central America and South America, because during antediluvian times, the Romanos to the people known as the Tabacles. The Tabacles were the first Native Americans that Patala and now America, and there they started to learn what we know as pyramid building. You know what I'm saying? This is why when you look at Cambodia and when you look at like Vietnam and you look at the pyramid structures or the temple structures, they're very similar to those of South, you know, East Asia, along with the Aztecs, the Incans, the Mayans. Why? Because a lot of these cats learned their instructions from a group known as the Nagas or the Serpent King. This is why I went, and some people may disagree with me. I keep teaching that Kemet is a colony of Tamar Nadu, or what we know as the Indus Valley. But we understand the Naga, Sanskrit word for Serpent King, and then you start to study the Nasu, or the cobras that was on the heads of the Nasu. They was reenacting the pre-dynastic Nasu or pharaohs known as the Nagas that ruled during what we know as the three divine dynasties that came before post-Diluvian, or that was ruled by the children of Ham. So and everything that the sisters is called cool, because when we understand Baal worship, which is another form of serpent worship, that type of worship crossed over from antediluvian times to post-diluvian. It just took on a new name. And also, she's correct about Europa, that the word Europe goes back to Europa. And when you study the princess Europa, she was Ethiopian / Phoenician princess. And that word Europa even goes back further to the Hebrew word Irib. And it also means gloomy and darkness, because where the Europeans came from, the caves in Europe, it was very gloomy and darkness. Also, the word Europa means to rope off, because in ancient times when we were exiling many of them up there in Europe, we created walls and things so they couldn't come across. So it meant to rope off. So yeah, the sister on point. I'm about to go back. I'm listening to Queen Naphtali because, and I respect her too, because she let you know where she got her sources from. And I forgot that I gave her that information on the Atlantean Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I don't know why Queen Naphtali keep putting out our secret weapons.
That's because you go so deep, man. Yeah, man. Sometimes you go so deep, you forget sometimes when you leave seeds around. You know what I mean? It starts to grow and watering.
Have me come on and do a PowerPoint. You see the new PowerPoint I just did on the Pasha Shaddai joint.
Shout out. Word, no doubt. Yeah. Word. Hard.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get all the Queen show. I want to sit here and listen to her.
Right. No doubt. Fire. Yep. Peace. Are you still there, Queen Naphtali?
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm just letting Mighty.
Other people giving you props, huh?
Telling Mighty Hebrew. I'm saying hello to Mighty Hebrew. Did he jump off?
Yeah, I think he came and
came and go.
Yeah. It just took us 4,000 billion years, huh?
4,000 billion. Oh my goodness.
Yo, you know when he take you up, man, you gotta hold on to your sources because you'll be on the ride.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, my
before
doctrine
Sanskrit.
is pretty
huh?
Oh man. Mighty Hebrew go in. He goes in. And a lot of it, you know,
well learned.
I gravitate towards. But some, you eat the meat, he eat the meat that I have and spit out my bones. So, we all trying to, I'm a truth seeker and I'm an independent thinker and an independent researcher. So I don't turn my nose up at anything. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna investigate and, research anything that you bring out, because there's, truth is stranger than fiction.
There you go.
So,
Truth is stranger than fiction. I love it. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Having discussions like this is to open up the mind a little bit and get a little loose. It's fun when you can explore and not be so traditional and can explore and kind of like broaden your thinking and your spirit. Gives you more room. It's more room. It's the difference between, wearing your long socks up. I'm talking about basketball back in the days. And like my man do the Wiggins. I mean, what he do with the glasses? Oh, my man Spice Adams. Shout out to Spice Adams. We got a chance to build with him. And taking the shots like this. And then you got all these other cats that come in. Jordan came in, changed it, altered the game. Broke the rules a little bit. You started looking deeper into it. You know what I mean? You could rehearse underwater. You know what I mean? You start practicing underwater. You go a little deeper and then you take the mind a little higher. So yeah, it's definitely good. In the audience, y'all need to see stuff like this and hear things like this. And look, the Queen, Naphtali, she took time out and went in and started going through things. And that's what and don't care about what other people think. And that's the great thing about it, and dropping it and being bold. So if you got people like me, and you got myself, and you got the Mighty Hebrew, giving you props for just coming on and dropping these jewels.
Yeah.
Big up.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me. When I first came out, you gave me an opportunity on your show, and I thank you so much for allowing me to come on with my doctrine, because a lot of people say, "Oh, she has a doozy of a doctrine." That's what they say. So, and my thing is that I'm not saying anything that hasn't been recorded in history. There's frescoes, there's glyphs, there's all types of archaeological findings that express what I say. You know what I'm saying? I look into things. I don't just go based off of my feelings. I go based off of the information that is being told. And a lot of people, like I said, you got to watch people who tell you not to look into something, not to research this, because the thing is, there's information there. And like I said, you can eat the meat and spit out the bones. But the thing is that there is some meat in everything that you read. And anybody that tells you not to read it, you have to look at them like, hey, are you a gatekeeper? Are you a part of these secret societies out there? You know what I'm saying? So when I come out and I say these things, I talk about the fallen angels, I talk about the Anunnaki, I put them all together. And I know that there are people that do put it all together, but they want to mention the Most High, the biblical deity in that. So, he's above all of it. He's above all of that.
No doubt. What do you know about the Sumerian king list? What do you think about that?
When you go into the Sumerians, and I don't have my notes with me to really go into the king's list. But when you talk about the Sumerians, at one point in time, I believe that the Sumerians were actually the Shemites, were the Israelites. When you look at it, they say that that's the first civilization was Sumer. And then Sumer went down, and Babylonians and all of them. So I look at the Sumerians, and we go into the king's list. And let me look at it really. Let me look at it really quick. So that's why I said I'm in my car. Shoot. Oh, did I leave? Am I still there?
You here? We got you.
Okay. Go ahead and just hold on for.
All right. So
give me a second.
All right. So play on what I just sent you, AD. Check out some stuff because they getting busy.
And among these stands the awe-inspiring Ishtar Gate of King Nebuchadnezzar II. Dating back to approximately 575 BC, this monumental structure was more than just a gateway. It was believed that the gods themselves, the Anunnaki, could enter into our world through the gate.
After he, Marduk, had set the days of the year, he founded the station of Nibiru to determine their bounds, that none might err or go astray. He set the station of Bel and Ea along with him. and he opened great gates on both sides.
Situated in the ancient city of Babylon, present-day Iraq, the Ishtar Gate was the 8th entrance to the city and served as its main point of access. Built under the reign of King Nebuchadnezzar II, this gate was part of a grand plan to enhance the capital city's splendor.
And shout out to Chuck Morgan. He was up here. He was dropping some jewels because he with Josh he learned to read the cuneiform.
According to ancient Aztec codices and oral tradition, Teotihuacan was established by the god Quetzalcoatl, who brought with him the knowledge of civilization and gold mining. Quetzalcoatl built 3 pyramids at Teotihuacan. The pyramids of the Moon, Sun, and Temple of Quetzalcoatl, which were modeled on the Giza pyramids. In addition, his arrival appears to coincide with the arrival of the Olmecs in ancient Mesoamerica. Teotihuacan's connection to ancient Egypt would not only explain the pyramids at Teotihuacan, but also the presence of the African Olmecs in the region. After the Anunnaki god Marduk's defeat at Babel, he took over the realm of Egypt and displaced Anunnaki god Thoth as Lord of Egypt. In response, the Anunnaki god Thoth migrated to the Mesoamerican region, where he settled at Teotihuacan. The reasons for Teotihuacan's decline and eventual collapse are unknown, but by 750 AD, the city had been abandoned. However, if the ancient Aztec codices are to be believed, then the city was destroyed by a great deluge during the era of the 4th sun. The decline of Teotihuacan.
Wow, man, there's some heavy stuff out there, man. And big up to R.I.P. to Rod Sterling. It's like, yo, that make you think like, yo, he just was playing around with it on Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I really is about. Remember what I'm really am. He smoked a lot of cigarettes during the shows.
Yeah, cigarettes, cigars.
So like, one of my boys said he had a terrible life at the end because he died from cigarettes. I don't know if that's true, but this is what he told me. And coffee. I was like, man, that's a hard way to do it.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
Yeah, man, check it out. Everybody coming out. I'm checking out. I got some more stuff that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So, build with them, Solo Jim.
I mean, yeah, that's deep. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think information is endless. And you gotta base it. And, you know, people going to tell you a lot of things, right? And you gotta just look at it for yourself and look at information for yourself. And you know, the one thing I like to take away is that you don't know everything. And you always gotta, that's how you learn, and that's how you know, build your own type of knowledge for yourself. Is that the fact that at the end of the day, once you think that you know everything, you're not gonna learn nothing. You know, you gotta keep learning something. So, you know, you just gotta keep yourself composed, study your own information, understand what you got and what you see for the world. So, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, there's gonna be a bunch of false information that's gonna be out there. You can even just that and understand it. You know what I mean? Just don't, you know, that's just not what you believe in. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you gotta learn endlessly. You know what I mean? That's how I look at life. I look at life as, you know what I mean, take the information, understand it, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? If people not trying to manipulate you or nothing like that, because you gotta understand how people are gonna say it, you know what I mean? How people say things. So that's another element and part that goes into that too. So, you know what I mean? I think it's very interesting, you know what I mean? I think deeper than most people. So I tried to.
Your last?
No, I was just saying, I just want to finish. I just tried to like, and digest everything I'm hearing and just like understand it, not judge it off of face value. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I just don't know everything. You know what I mean? I just know what I know.
Right.
Slide back over to you.
All right. So last time I played some stuff from Devil Player. So my question is, here's a question. Is Bobby Hemmett okay? Did he pass away? Is my question. You hit me in the chat. I don't know. I don't want to put it like that, but I'm getting mixed things because I never met that brother. Well, look, I want to know. I'll probably ask Mighty Hebrew. But anyway, play the next one. Since we going there. Let's get some Billy Carson going. Let's go.
As a matter of fact, the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape. There was a pyramid war. There were 2 pyramid wars. The second pyramid war in the tablets talks about the fact that the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape through a hidden passage in one of the pyramids. And before he left, he decreed that he would leave the kingdom to his Ra-Kam. Ra-Kam, K-A-M, translates now into shield. Kam translates into shield, Ra, shield. Over time, it became Rothschilds. And so this decree came down tens of thousands of years ago. Who's the richest family on the planet worth $700 trillion combined income? The Rothschilds. It still is happening till this very, very day. Now, these Freemasons were called Shattu. As a matter of fact, the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape. There was a pyramid war. There were 2 pyramid wars. The second pyramid war in the tablets talks about the fact that the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape through a hidden passage in one of the pyramids. And before he left, he decreed that he would leave the kingdom to his Ra-Kam. Ra-Kam, K-A-M, translates now into shield. Kam.
Oh, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on today. I'm ready to play some Bobby Hemmett. We had Delwyn Blair. Hold on.
You know, not to cut you off, but you had those. I want you to share with me those videos you had talking about Quetzalcoatl and all those different videos. I enjoyed that. That was deep. Those went in deep.
I got you.
But you asked me about the Sumerians. And one thing that I don't have my notes with me, guys. Apologies, but I'm gonna have to come back and bring them with me. But you remember with Garfield and the whole thing with him bringing on this? Do you remember that or no? We talking about the Sumerians.
What did he do with that?
Oh, it's no big deal. But I want to just get back on the Sumerians.
Yeah.
The good thing about the Sumerians is that they had their own flood story, right? And it dates back to about 4000 BC, which it's about 6,000 years, which correlates with the Bible a little bit. Based off the Bible, the earth is 6,000 years. I know that sounds crazy to people, but that's just the way it is. And that actually coincides with the Sumerian tribe, the Sumerians. So a lot of what they talk about with what is it, Enki? And then we get into Enlil and all of them. And then we get into the Babylonians. So a lot of that, meshes together with who they worshiped and how they worship after the flood. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. We're gonna play this, and then you can elaborate on it. Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead, AD, play that. I love it when you build after these. I'm gonna send you some too.
Where flourishing Sumerian cities once stood. Few have been more intriguing than the Sumerian king list. An ancient manuscript originally recorded in the Sumerian language, the Sumerian king list is a register of the kings of Sumer, ancient southern Iraq, from Sumerian and neighboring dynasties. The list includes their names, supposed reign lengths, and the locations of official kingship. What makes the Sumerian king list so unique is the fact that it blends apparently mythical pre-dynastic rulers with historical rulers who are known to have existed in real life. The first fragment of this rare and unique text, a 4,000-year-old cuneiform tablet, was found in the early 1900s by German-American scholar Hermann Hilprecht at the site of ancient Nippur, and his results were published in 1906. Since Hilprecht's discovery, at least 18 other exemplars of the king's list have been found, most of them dating from the second half of the Esan dynasty. No two of these documents are identical. However, there is enough common material in all versions of the Sumerian king list to make it clear that they are derived from a single ideal account of Sumerian history. The rulers in the early, out of the many incredible artifacts that have been recovered.
Check that out. And you know that voice is Rod Sterling from the old Twilight Zone. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, we might just next. Go ahead, hit the next one for her, and then I'll let her build on that. Yeah, just like the Anak, Exactly. Go ahead. Shout out to Jody. I see you in the building. Freestyles B, Ben Frank in the building. He said, "My uncle told me that they assassinated Sterling." Oh man, we gotta talk about that. All right, play this one. This is gonna be good. And then
Ancient astronaut hypothesis. The origin story of the Aztec can be traced to ancient Sumer, more particularly to the lost generation of Cain referred to in Genesis of the Hebrew Bible.
He's not alive, right?
According to Genesis,
he's old.
Cain was banished from the presence of the Lord and sent to dwell in the land of Nod, east of Eden. We are also further told that Cain and his wife conceived and bore a son called Enoch, and that Cain built a city and called the city by the name of his son Enoch. The Aztec origin story of wandering in the wilderness until they found a promised location to build a city is similar to the Exodus story in the Hebrew Bible and the myth of Etana in the Sumerian texts. Tenochtitlan was a large city just like Teotihuacan, located about 30 miles to the south. Things get even more interesting if one considers that the name of the Aztec city Tenochtitlan actually contains the word Enoch. Furthermore, the Aztec calendar suggests that the era of the Aztec was that of the fifth son following a previous fourth son of the black-headed peoples that had been destroyed by a great deluge. This is quite intriguing since the Sumerians referred to themselves as the black-headed peoples. In addition, the Aztec...
All right. Queen Naphtali. The rocket is yours.
Well, see, this is what the problem is, and this is why people are so confused, because we have all these people creating this gumbo of confusion. All they're doing is mixing everything together, which is nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that they're mixing it together and they're causing confusion. You know, so what I'm saying is that when you look at the Sumerians, when you look at the Babylonians, you look at the Egyptians, all of them are worshiping the same God. That's not up for debate. The problem is that they want to make that God like he is the God of the Bible, and he's not. The Bible tells you who it is. It's Baal, and that's who it all goes back to. Now, like I said, I don't know if these people and your Billy Carsons and all of them, I don't know what their agenda is, right? Because the Bible is the source, and everything else is there to, you know, provide information to support this source. This is the main source, and everything else, it just plays off of it. And so when you talk about Enoch, that's not the right Enoch, you know, and he's saying things and he's trying to cause confusion and talking about Cain and all of that. That's not right. So we have to, you know, really be, you know, we have to take our time and really listen to what people are saying. And, you know, they come off, they utilize a lot of history, utilize a lot of information, but they're not putting it together correctly. Because if we put it together, we'll understand that there is the Most High God who is the creator. And then there's deities of fallen angels that came down and they wanted to be worshiped. The job of the fallen angels was to worship, to be there, not worship, but to be servants or to help mankind. That's what they were supposed to do. And Lucifer looked and was like, no, they're going to serve me. They're going to worship me. And then that's when he was trying to go up against the Most High. And the Most High just sent down Michael. He just sent down his angel to take care of him, you know. And they got the angel of the Lord, right? They had the angel of the Lord. And when it came down, he was between heaven and earth. And they was looking up and they can see him. And he came down, and that's when he started to destroy and take out a lot of people, and he was swinging his sword. So we know that the angels are nothing to play with. So if the angels, when they work for the Most High, then there's the ones that are working against him, and those are the ones that are causing us all these different, you know, their job is to take us away from worshiping the Most High to worshiping them. And the way that you worship them by default is by not worshiping the Most High by default. So if you're finding yourself not worshiping him, you're by default worshiping Baal. You're worshiping the counter of the Most High God. if that makes sense.
What would you say it's a good way for those of us who's looking to go on the right path, you know what I mean, to do so?
Well,
I dropped the bomb when you laughed, right? Go ahead.
Well, the way that you want to go on the right path is to utilize is to have a foundation, and then you build off of that foundation. So, like with a home, you have to have a solid foundation, and your foundation you have to stand strong within. That's the Bible. You actually have to read the Bible for yourself, take the information, and study it, and understand that that's the foundation. Once you build off the Bible, then you can start looking into these different civilizations and how and who they worship in all these different societies. You look at you look at the Egyptians, you know, the Hyksos, they came over and they ruled, and the Hyksos are the Amorites. And the Amorites and the Canaanites, the Amorites were also the Babylonians. If you start looking at everything, you start to realize everything has to do with the Canaanites. It all goes back to them. You know, the Canaanites are the problem. So if you start to follow the path of the Canaanites, like I said, cannibalism, right? All of it goes back to Canaan, because the Canaanites' god is Baal, and the Baal is bull. It's a bull. So if you start seeing this bull, when you start seeing people talk about, like I said, you got to pay Baal. You look at these different monuments. You look at these different so-called government buildings. You know, everybody want to look at Rome, but Rome is not the beginning. The beginning goes back to Lebanon. It goes back to the land of where Baal is worshipped, and that's where Baalbek is. And there's also a Baalat. There's also a female, a Baalat. That's his companion. Her name is Baalat. Yeah. Baalat is where we get all these other goddesses from. She is the you know, when you look at that Ankh, that goes back to her. The Ankh goes back to Baalat. So everybody looks at the Egyptians. No, it all goes back to the Canaanites, or you want to call them Phoenicians, whatever you want to classify them as. But the Ankh goes back to Baalat.
That's heavy. Do you have any? Yeah. Could you show us that? Do you have any to show us that?
I'm in my car.
Right,
Maybe,
right. This is what this
Baalat, Baalat, I believe is how you spell it, Baalat.
Right there. Right.
Like Baalat.
Yeah. And why the Hebrew says in Genesis chapter 11 lets you know that the Hebrew Yadavas, known as the Sumerians, came. Shout out to my Hebrew. Yadavas, known as the Sumerians, came from the East, India, and they found a plain called Shinar, which is Sumer. Those that are being called the Sumerians are the Hebrew Yadavas that fled from the Indus Valley to Shinar, Sumer, during the Ramayana Wars, 7,500 BCE. You can. I know. Man, there's words that you probably didn't never, you're not used to. You ever just get up and say Yadava?
That's real.
He's going through a different way. He's going through when he talks about the Indus Valley. See me, I'm going from Mount Ararat, they're in Turkey, and I'm taking it all the way down, and then we go to the Indus Valley. We start at Ararat, and then we go to Sumer, and then Babylon, and then we make our way down to the Indus Valley.
Hey, this is good. Hey, sorry to cut. Sorry to cut. I want you to start right where you left off. AD, isn't this dope? And I say how knowledge is infinite, and that you can go here with it, you can go there with it, but there's so many pockets of knowledge that comes out. It's so dope.
That's why you gotta have a solid foundation. That's why you have to stand on your foundations, because there's so many different ways that you can go with this information. But once you have a solid foundation and you build from that, then you're able to see that the fallen angels are the ones that came down, and they are the deities. There are these gods that are, when they said the seraphim, when you look at the seraphim, which is the strongest of the angels, right? They're the ones that are surrounding, you know, God's throne, the Most High's throne, and they surround this throne. And they said they deal with people emotionally, spiritually. So if they're able to do that with us emotionally and spiritually, what do you think they can do to us when they fall and they go against the Most High? What do you think? Like, that's why we see in the garden, we had Lucifer in the garden who tricked Eve. He beguiled Eve. Well, because he was able to, you know, utilize human emotion. He knew that was a weakness. It's the way, you know, human our emotions, and the seraphim know about human emotions as well as our thoughts and our feelings. So we have to look at it like that. People have to stop, you know, looking at the fallen angels as if they're, I mean, you look on the walls of, you know, the Aztecs, you look at the walls of the Mayans, when you look at how they look. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta take a look at this really quick. I'm in my car. Just give me a second.
Hey, just take your time. You know what I mean? Make sure it's all gravy. Make sure you ain't you pulled over.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Mighty Hebrews just hit me with so much knowledge right now. Also, as so is Queen Naphtali, and they're both going in right now. And I'm looking at the pie craft. What's the name? We're gonna. Oh man, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna let it come back. We're gonna have to.
We got a video
blast off.
We got a video submission here from Stephen Harding. It's
Yeah.
It's about the rat beef. That's an option. If you want me to play it, I can play it. It's an Instagram funny thing.
Oh.
But I don't want to go there if you don't want to go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her come back because she's in the car, and I wanna get ready to
Gotcha.
in this. I mean, get to the music because we got something to say. We can't do everything in a day. You know what I mean? Rome was built in a day. So whenever if you hear me, Naphtali, I mean you were great, and I want to get ready to get to the music. And yeah, y'all gonna be you're gonna be looking back at the live. I don't know why I'm so slow, man.
No, you good.
You ain't
You're
slow.
right.
You just chilling.
Fine. You know what I mean?
Just chilling.
You got
good.
this.
You're right.
Yeah, I want to move on and let's get to the music real quick. And when she come back, we'll let her know she's just joining. But it was great what you did, Naphtali, and Mighty Hebrew. Thank you for coming through. That was so dope. Shout out to everyone out there that's learned something that elevated, and that was a great, beautiful. She just did that on the wing. That was dope. Shout out to I see you in there. Oh, it's just peace to the family from the Phobe. Shout out Phobe Kunath.
And I got something to say too.
Okay.
Because there's gonna be the people out there that says this is crazy. I don't believe in all of that. You feel me? You know what I mean? Knowledge is infinite, right? If you have an issue and a problem, you know what I mean? Do your research. You know what I mean? That's typically how you feel me? If you want to really challenge what she's saying, because she dropping her jewels, you know what I mean? Do your research. So, I just want to elaborate on that and just give her some flowers, because that was dope and that was deep.
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Fire bird.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so when you come back, man, that was great, man. The show has been beautiful. Thank y'all. And we're one of my favorite parts, AD, take us to the music.
Song promotions. You send in your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
Yeah. Jam. James Brown did that.
Yeah.
Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah, we here, man. I mean.
That's right. All right.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hey.
No doubt. Naphtali, you did great. It was beautiful. We learned so much. And the time is consuming because no pun intended, but it's consumer. No, it's consuming. Is consuming, and we want to let you go. We want to move on and stuff like that. And we would just say we're gonna set up something where you could come with another presentation, or because you did this on the wing and we learned so much and it was so dope that Mighty Hebrew, once he come out, you know you're on something, because we were on 5,000, 6,000 years and you start dropping. But it was great, and thank you for coming through. We're gonna move on to the music.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me on.
Yep.
You know, like I said, I'm gonna come back and I'm actually gonna talk about Balat and her link to the Ankh, as well as the different goddesses, how everybody talks about Ishtar, everybody talks about all the different goddesses, but nobody talks about Balat. Nobody's heard of her, and she's the one that is actually the progenitor of all of them. So
say
I
her
love
name
to
quick.
talk about that, huh?
Say her name real slow for us.
It's Balat.
Balat. Yeah. Okay.
Balat. And yeah, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk about that and bring more information for you guys and put it all together. But remember, if you go to jail, you got to pay bail.
That's a t-shirt. You got to get that as a t-shirt.
You got to get that.
Got to pay bail. You got to spell it just like that, too. Word. You got to pay the bail.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yo, they gods and goddesses, there's Queen. They saying that was Queen Naphtali, man.
Mm-hmm.
Make some noise.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.